Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai. We do this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock Hawaiian time, and is zoomed globally. It is recorded on our website for those that are in different time zones around the planet. I'm Amatashi. The purpose of the class is to put into visual how to do these practices of Tibetan Buddhism, which is called Shamanistic Romanism. This form of Buddhism is unique in its own way to all other forms of Buddhism. First of all, it's not a religion. It's simply a system of methods or practices that cause healing for those of us in the human condition. And the healing takes place on the physical, mental, emotional, and most importantly, the spiritual level. The spiritual level is not only extremely important for this life, but also for when we leave our form and move into the next life. So that's the purpose of this and all teachings of the Buddha. When we do practice, we can think of our situation, our mind, like a computer. And what we are doing with these practices is downloading into our storehouse or hard drive information that causes us to become more intelligent. And intelligence doesn't have a ceiling. So in these practices, as we do these practices with the guidance of the Lama and the lineage and do the study and everything, our intelligence level increases, sometimes quite noticeably, but mostly it's a gradual effect. And the results of this are in our individual situations and our collective connection to the world around us. With practice, things improve. And they do this day to day, month to month, year to year, and life to life. When the Buddha taught 84,000 antidotes to 84,000 afflictions that humans possess, it was meant to cover all the various tendencies of each and every being in the universe individually. But it was taught in such a way that it's universal. By that I mean, nobody left out. And there's a foundation to this practice of healing, which when I present this, we present this class, we use the three lights prana yoga practice, the 5 elements healing, and then we move into the path of skillful means, which is the practice of the sutras and tantric traditions, and pointing out that everything inside is empty. And the reflection of everything outside is of the same nature. It's illusory, which means made of light. So inside, we're talking about our thoughts, judgments, and emotional preoccupation. Illusory. But that arises because of the connection to the drama world outside of it. And everything in the drama world is illusory because it's interdependent on everybody and everything. So that's a shared reality. Illusory or not, it appears. And these two, the inner and the outer, are not separate. And when you are convinced of that, you are very close to what we call higher and higher states of intelligence. And as I said before, there's no ceiling. Now, in the Kagyu tradition, of which there are 12 lineages, unbroken, passed down for the last 2,600 years from the teachings of Shakyamuni Buddha to the present day, and they're present everywhere in the world, with the teachers on the planet, men and women. We have a daily practice. It's called the ordinary preliminary practice as the foundation to the Dharma, as it is presented by the Lama. And everybody has this refuge sheet. On the back of the refuge sheet are these 4 ordinary preliminary practices. And you should know them because they not only are true, but they inspire you to do more and more practice. Put more and more time into developing higher and higher states of wisdom or intelligence. They are called the 4 thoughts that turn the mind to Dharma or wisdom practice. It says, this precious human form that we find ourselves in is free and well endowed. How do you know that? Because you don't have the 8 unfavorable conditions that would prevent you from practice. Actually, you have 10 favorable conditions, and the cause of these is having practiced in previous life. So congratulate yourself. That's the first thought that turns you to wisdom practice, Dharma practice. Death and impermanence is a reality. This world and all it contains is impermanent. The life of beings in it are as fragile as a bubble of water. The time of death is uncertain. And when dead, our body is nothing but a corpse. At that time, only Dharma practice is of any benefit. Let us practice diligently now. Number 3, impermanence. Number 3, karma, which is called the cause and effect. Or here we say, what goes around comes around. But simply put, is all the tendencies that we activated in previous lives follow us like a shadow to this life. Negative tendencies cause negative results now and in future life, and they arise inadvertently. Positive tendencies that we develop in previous life create positive circumstances. So practicing the Dharma is totally positive, and it helps us to free us of delete these negative tendencies. The 4th thought that turns the mind of Dharma is we are caught in what is called conditioned existence. Everything that we have, body, mind, speech, from even before birth, we were conditioned to see everything the way everybody else sees it. And that influence is negative. And not only that, it it's always changing. This universe as it appears is not only an illusion, but it's in a constant state of karmic movement. And it changes from good to bad and back again. And this is in our states of our physical, mental, emotional, and even our spiritual situation. So we must practice the Dharma to move out of this drama mind of conditioned existence into an innate state of awareness that doesn't do that. And in that way, we liberate ourselves from the constant pain and suffering of emotional involvement with everything and judging everything as good or bad, high or low, or not knowing what to do. If you get these four thoughts through meditation firmly ingrained in your consciousness, the Dharma practice and the time it's needed to do the practice arises easily. And it's so important that Kala Rinpoche taught these four preliminary practices, 10 hours a day in meditation on each one of the four for 4 weeks. So the first one of having a favorable existence and so forth, 1 week. Death and impermanence, 1 week. 2.5 hour sessions, 4 sessions a day. Karma, negative and positive tendencies, following us like a shadow. And conditioned existence itself being unfavorable. And that became the basis of all the rest of the practices for the next 40 months, 39 months in retreat. All of that said, we'll take refuge. It starts with the altruistic motivation that everything we do is for everybody else. Everything. Everything we say, think, and do. Based on unconditional love and concern for their well-being. It goes like this. In order to attain enlightenment for myself and limitless sentient beings, my mothers, we now all together take refuge, and when possible, offer prostration. And we chant that in Tibetan so that all the beings around us know that we are their friend. Dag dong jo nam pe ta dong yam pe sem chen tam che du di ne jung te ji si jeng chu ni po la chi pi bar. Then we take refuge in the 3 jewels and the 3 roots. We go for refuge to all the glorious Holy Lama. We go for refuge to all the idams, the deities gathered in our mandala practice. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered their mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha that teaches this supreme Dharma. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these 6 supports are the foundation of all our practice. Chanted in Sanskrit. Alden Mama Damba Nama Japsu Chiyo Yedam Chokor Gilatso Nama Japsu Chiyo Sanjay Chodende Nama Japsu Chiyo Dante Chur Nama Japsu Chiyo Kalpe Gandu Nama Japsu Chiyo Kao Kandro Chokyon Sume Sho Yesheki Shendong Dempa Nama Japsu Chiyo. And then we enter Bodhisattva training school with the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines of practice. They're called the 6 perfections. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing these 6 perfections, accomplish Buddhahood, the highest state of intelligence, for the benefit of all sentient beings. And then in Sanskrit, Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodam La Jakshu Mardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Jipe Chodam Vidrola Banjo Sanjay Jupa. I want to go back to the altruistic motivation, the part about offering prostration. This is one of the most powerful physical forms of offering practice that we use to connect to all living beings with the Dharma embedded. And when I say embedded, when you're doing prostrations, you and every sentient being in the universe, your mothers, are doing the prostration with you. And the 6 supports are in front, hanging in a tree. Then around the tree, you and all sentient beings, laying down and standing up. Why? Because it takes you into a solid state of unity, physically, mentally, because you're imagining, using your imagination with focus. And you're not leaving any spirit, animal, or human out of the prostration practice. And so my teacher, Kala Rinpoche, demonstrated that to us in the first retreat that we had with him on Maui. And he took off his shawl and threw it on a dusty floor of the barn we were in, 60 of it. And he started doing prostrations, chanting the refuge prayer of the 6 supports. And then after 3 of those, he stood up, shook his shawl, and he says, okay, now it's your turn. We went, huh? The translator says, yeah, he wants you 60 to do what he just did. 3 times each. And that was our introduction to the power. But I was most impressed because it was really hot, dusty, sweating. But Kala Rinpoche, cool, over 70 years old, puts his Zen back on and sits down. That was my introduction that hit me so hard that from that day to this, I've connected to the Dharma starting every day with prostration. Try them, you'll like them. Now we meditate. Now we introduce the three lights meditation practice, prana yoga practice, so that any age group can learn to focus on their breath. It's hard to focus on the breath without some kind of support. So with the three lights meditation, the code of the three lights is the support. But more than that, it gets you used to using your imagination and your focus together. And you have to do this to be a good shaman or Sha woman. Sit with your back straight, eyes open, mouth closed, head tilted a little bit forward, hands in a comfortable position on the knees or in the lap. Bring your focus to your breath. Diaphragm expands. Exhale. Diaphragm contracts. Very spontaneous. It keeps you alive. But to enhance the energy of breathing, when you inhale, inhale white light, visualizing it to fill your lungs as the energy of life support energy of the universe. All the elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, are in the air. Fill your lungs. That energy program passes through every cell in your body spontaneously. That's called the middle breath, absorption breath. Visualize that happening with red light flashing through your form. Then take the code of these two, the white and the red, together and exhale blue light out your nose. To space, to the sky, the home of infinite sentient beings, our universe, as a healing breath. Inhale white light, fill your lung. Absorption breath, red light, visualized through every cell in your body. Both together out the nose as blue light has benefit to limitless beings who exist everywhere in the universe. None left out. Do 21 of these breaths. Count to yourself. On the 21st count, take your focus out the breath and combine the three lights, white, red, and green, into one tiny particle and visualize it to be centered in your chest, in the central channel of your life force. This creates a bindu, tigli in Tibetan, energy, chakra, connection to the infinite light of boundless space as the basis of everything we are doing to create healing situation. So just relax. As that particle of light merges with all the light energy throughout boundless space. No meditation. Accept that as the nature of everything and relax. Then from that state of basic space, again, focus on the particle, like a tiny particle of light in your heart center, and visualize it to grow into a small sphere of clear light. And that way you move from the spatial state into the three-dimensional state of our universe. Then focusing on that small sphere of clear light, visualize it to grow into whatever symbol of the 5 elements you wish to use. Tonight we're using fire, radiation, the warmth and thermal energy of everything that appears, inside or outside. And this appears at a 4-sided pyramid made of light, with a base about the size of your thumbnail in the center of your heart chakra. And we use the heart chakra for meditation in all of our practices. It's the source of loving kindness. Focusing on that 4-sided pyramid, symbol of fire. For healing purposes, imagine it to move out in front of your chest and up in front of your eyes, 2 feet in front. And imagine it to grow in size large enough that you see yourself sitting inside this symbol of fire like a large room or tent. In keeping focus and imagination together, expanded in size, as we share it with our surroundings, we imagine it to grow, to completely enclose this island of Kauai and surrounding ocean, and everything and everyone inside that symbol. Then imagine it to grow in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. Which of course includes everybody in and on the earth. This is how bodhicitta works on the relative level. Imagine it to grow in size to completely enclose our solar system, expanding out in billions of miles in every direction. Enlarge the symbol of the fire to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. Then move beyond the confines of the conceptual mind and imagine it to merge with boundless space. Relax and be present. And contemplate the infinite light of space. Having increased your capacity of accepting space as a reality for healing or any other purpose, return with your imagination to the fire pyramid enclosing the galaxy. Decrease it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Smaller and smaller just to enclose Mother Earth. Smaller yet to just enclose about a 50 area diameter of where you are doing this practice. 50-mile diameter. Then shrink all the energy that you've been psychically producing into the pyramid just enclosing your body. End the practice by bringing the symbol to its original small size in front of your eyes. Drop it to chest level, bring it into your heart chakra. Shrink it to the particle of light and rest in the present moment in space. Finish by bringing your awareness to in front of your eyes and spread it into your area of practice. And as Bodhisattvas, we dedicate the virtue of this practice of healing to all sentient beings, our mother. Space. The fire symbol is symbolically represented as the warmth of our body, which we can control by means of meditation for almost any purpose, healing being the main purpose. And this spatial energy is not only the infinite atoms that present our body's form, all interconnected in space with vast distances between them. But this light body can be amplified. It's like turning up a rheostat, heater, or turning up the lights. And when you do that, you not only get this increased feeling of warmth, which is like tenderness, but you also emotionally and mentally experience. And those three together, the body, speech, and mind, when in the same place, become whatever one imagines while you have those three together in meditation or whatever, in the same place. Now you just did that. The white, red, and blue light of your breathing brings your body, speech, and mind in together to perform the 5 elements healing practice. And all the modes of shamanistic practices for healing in the Tibetan tradition, that's what's happening. So when we use the symbol of space, we're entering into an area of infinite potential. And as bodhisattvas, that's appropriate, because we have infinite sentient beings as the purpose of our practice. We have an infinite universe which exists around us. And we can develop with these practices infinite prana, chi. I mean, chi is what keeps you moving. But infinite chi is a byproduct of using the physical, mental, emotional situation with the purpose of producing that as an all-pervasive energy field. Space. This is the seed syllable in Sanskrit, bomb or bomb. But this sound, it looks like a wavy cube with a dot over it. It's got a lotus under it. It's the nature of everything, your thoughts, everything. It's the nature of nature. And there's nothing in this universe that's beyond nature. There's no such thing as supernatural. That's a made up idea. It doesn't work. It causes arrogance. But in our case, this situation of universality and infinite potential with constantly increasing our prana, our chi, is simply to more and more benefit the world around it. For instance, I'm a gardener, so I do lots of gardening. But Bodhisattvas are gardening human beings. And even if you take one human being on, because they come with a lot of baggage, each and every one. Me included.
I'm glad you added that.
So we're going to do the practice of Prajnaparamita, the mother of perfect wisdom. Now, wisdom is the word Dharma in Sanskrit. And as I said before, wisdom is intelligence. And the drama field lacks intelligence just by its nature. I, me, mine, stingy, needy. Thinking things exist when they don't, making things up that are harmful, and so forth. But when we imagine that these higher and higher states of intelligence are simply light forms or symbols in human presentation as a program, like an algorithm for your computer. And when you download these programs, we start in the Sutra tradition with Path of Skillful Means using Chenrezig, Tara, and then 1,000 deities. But those 1,000 deities are included in 5 Buddha fields as antidotes to the judgment aspect of our mind, the emotional conflicting energy that we apply to ourselves and the world around us. And the antidote that we are using of Prajnaparamita is for people who practice only Sutra, Tantra, or Mahamudra, or all 3. And she is the ultimate nature of the universe. All of the universe is presented like a mother. Space is the ultimate elemental principle. But why? Because it's infinite. In your mind can think of anything. You have the Dharmakaya nature of mind, which can think of anything and do anything. So this is a download. And the practical purpose of it is by saying the mantra, which is presented in 3 ways. You're downloading to affect your practice so that in your own situation, the qualities of higher states of intelligence arise. And in the Buddha nature, there are 32 major and 80 minor qualities associated with the intelligence of a Buddha. And they're very valuable because you need these to be in a state of maturity, which is what Buddha means. It's a made-up word. To deal with the infinite situation of infinite sentient beings in an infinite universe. And your mind having infinite capacity. Your heart mind has infinite capacity. This is limited. But this mess up here, this limited mess, this Dharma mind, doesn't just exist there. We just use this as a symbol. But you have to clear it. It's called Sanjay in Tibetan. And the process of clearing is to do certain practices that cause that to happen with the guidance of the Lama. Prajnaparamita is one practice. But that's in the path of skillful means and the preliminary practices. So that's hard to accomplish. But with Prajnaparamita, just saying her mantra affects those sutra practices. If you say gate gate para gate parsam gate bodhisattva, that part of the mantra is to affect the positive results of these sutra practices. Then if you add Om to that mantra, now you're bringing the energy of the outside world, just as it is, the 5 elemental energies, into the practice. Now you're moving into the next level of practice. So Sutra is Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana development, which the resulting good results and more knowledge, intelligence. Then, with the guidance of the Lama, you move into the 3 kayas, the vehicles of your body, speech, and mind. Your mind is the Dharma kaya, all-pervasive nature, like the universe, like space, but it doesn't exist. So how do you deal with something that doesn't exist, but it does? Well, you acknowledge that. It's true, and it's not true, it's false. That's logic. And you work with that until there's no separation between the conflicting energy of the outer world and all of its stuff, and the interconnection of your thoughts and physical body in union with that. Then you use the mantra, Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisattva. And this is downloading into your storehouse accumulation of virtue, merit through practice, so that you become more knowledgeable, not only on the level of intelligence, but how to use it. Under any situation, good or bad. Then Prajnaparamita connects to all the wisdom energy of all the teachers 2,600 years from Shakyamuni Buddha down to the present. Uncountable teachers. All the lineages. And brings them all to work together with the word Tadyatha. And when you add that word to the mantra, you're collecting the power as a support and downloading that with your compassion and loving kindness so that you would know that all the Buddhas come from Prajnaparamita. They're the children of Prajnaparamita. No Prajnaparamita, no Buddhas. If you have no Buddhas, you have no Bodhisattvas. If you have no Bodhisattvas, you have no antidote to the drama world of conditioned existence. So when we say limitless intelligence, no ceiling, Tadyatha Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parsam Gate Bodhisattva is the mantra. So you take your pick.
So she's the mother of all Buddhists?
All Buddhas.
So she's the first?
No. She is the cause. Just like a mother is the cause of sentient beings in the human condition.
She's the cause.
She's the cause. It's called perfect wisdom. It means ultimate bodhicitta. No one left out. With the highest results from these Dharma practices with the guidance of the teachers. You have to have a guru. You already have the inner nature storehouse from previous life. But when you place this text in her left hand, that's the Heart Sutra. Form is emptiness, emptiness in form. That's the ultimate truth of all the Buddhas in existence. That's the ultimate reality. And when you come convinced of that and accept it, then she's your mother. If you use this is the sutra approach. If you use the tantric approach, which is the other method of Buddhism, designed for people of higher intelligence, then the symbol is the Vajra. And this symbol is everything is the 5 elements and the 5 wisdoms together in you as the practitioner to overcome any situation now and in the future. This is the symbol of Vajra means indestructible, but it also means timeless. Taking time out of the movie. And believe me, this is a movie. And you put the 3D glasses on a judgmental mind. Then these 2 conditions activated with the 3 different mantras I've already said have to be done in meditation. You have to focus on it. You have to say the mantra. You have to be Prajnaparamita. She's wearing the crown of all the Buddha families. Scantily dressed with a kata around her neck. Auspiciousness for everybody. 5 colors of silk, so the 5 taras as a 5 element. An empty mirror is your background. And unity is your theme, blue. She has 3 eyes, 6 kinds of jewelry. That's the 6 perfections. And she sits on a 108 petal lotus on the sun and moon seat, which means this only works in the human condition. And that's us. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate means beyond. The first gate means beyond words, beyond sound. The second gate is beyond physical. The third gate is beyond mental, beyond judgmental mind. And then you say, moving into the position of Prajnaparamita is the last part of the mantra. Gate, gate, para gate. Then parasam gate. Beyond even this presentation. Into space, which is the ultimate nature of inside and outside together. And in space, there's no such thing as appearances being perceived. There's no perceiver. There's no activity. So we'll sound this mantra and download that into whatever practices we are doing. Sound the seed syllable bong. Bong. In Tibetan is bong. Bong. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate. Now this brings your three, as the Lama's three body, speech, and mind merges into you, so that your body, speech, and mind is the deity in practice. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate. Bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasam gate, bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para Bodhi soha. Gate, gate, para gate, Parasamgati, Bodhisattva. Gati, Gati, Paragati, Bodhisattva. Gati, Gati, Paragati, Parasamgati, 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 Bodhisattva. The visualization of you as the mother of perfect wisdom is with the Vam in your heart center, with the Hum behind it. And the mantra, Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgati, circling the mantra clockwise, unmoving, letters facing inward. This is to deal with how you deal with the inner situation of a mind that doesn't exist, with all of its judgment calls and all of its emotional program. Then you as Prajnaparamita, all pervasive, Dharmakaya, everywhere present, the cause of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all the teachers, and all the lineages from Shakyamuni Buddha down to the present day. Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgati, Bodhisattva.
Do you say Tathagata?
Huh?
Do you add Tathagata sometimes?
We're going to do that later.
Okay.
There's 3 levels to this mantra. 3 downloads. This is one to deal with the inner. Okay? Get that straightened out so you know the inner doesn't exist. And it's not separate from the outer. Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgati, Bodhisattva. This is an illusory symbol to teach you that. Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgati, Bodhisattva. 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 So this mantra evolves from the Heart Sutra and pervades all sutra practice, all deity yoga practice. Then the next aspect of the mantra is to add Om. Om is the outer energy of the universe existing as an illusory situation, but in union with the inner. No separation. You can't have one without the other. There's no perceiver or perceived. Both are true and false. Both exist and don't exist simultaneously. Om Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasamgati, Bodhisattva. Now you're bringing both together. The Tantric approach and the Sutra approach. Gate, Gate, Om Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasangati Bodhisattva. Om Gati Gati Paragati 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 Parasangati Bodhisattva.
Om Gati Gati Parasangati Bodhisattva.
Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisattva. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisattva. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisattva. So now you're downloading all the highest intelligence produced from Sutra and Tantra in actual practice. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisattva. Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati
Bodhisattva.
Om Gati Gati Parasangati
Bodhisattva.
Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisattva. Om Gati 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 Parasangati Bodhisattva. Now we start the download of ultimate wisdom, which is the producer of all the Buddhas. And every Buddha has 32 major qualities and 80 minor qualities that they use in working with the infinite baggage of sentient being. So now we're going to bring a higher intelligence into our practice with the form is emptiness, emptiness is form, which was presented 400,000 different ways in the sutra. And then tantric practice, which brings the 5 elements and the 5 dhyana Buddhas together with your body, speech, and mind. and meditation, which produces the ultimate result of awareness and highest intelligence of Prajnaparamita as the cause of the universe, as the cause of everything, everything you can think of, everything you say, think, or do, and all sentient beings. So then we add Tadyatha to the mantra. From Shakyamuni Buddha down to the present day, thousands and thousands of gurus, lamas, teachers, bodhisattvas, wisdom teachers, in India, Tibet, everywhere in the world today, collect and sit in meditation of no perceiver, and everything that's perceived as an illusion, and relax in a state of voidness, no activity. Your heart, mind at rest. Tadyatha gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. These three symbols, Om, Ah, Hum, are the three kayas, vehicles of Prajnaparamita's highest level of intelligence available to humans who practice. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyatha om gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Now the highest concept available to one of the five Dhyana Buddhas is mirror-like wisdom. And that mirror-like wisdom is a state of unity where outside and inside, development as human beings, no different. They all together with you move into these higher and higher states of intelligence towards maturity as the mother of perfect wisdom. Tadyadam gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. 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 Tadyadam gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva.
Tadyadam gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva.
Tadyadam gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyadam gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. Tadyadam gati gati para gati parsam gati bodhisattva. And using this symbol of Prajnaparamita, this fluidity, this illusoriness, this light show has no separation. This interconnection is to every sentient being in the universe. And we project this symbol so that we're all moving together into higher and higher states of human intelligence. So dissolve the symbol of Prajnaparamita into the heart mantra. Tadyatha Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhisattva. And develop all those symbols into the balm in your heart center. Surrounded by a 5-colored sphere of light. As before, contract that to a particle of light in your heart center and relax in the voidness of space. The mother principle of all the elements. Be present. when you end this download, through the creation and accumulation stages of practice, I've been practicing Prajnaparamita for the last 3 days, night and day. It's a yidam practice, just like all the others. But it has this special application to put into place in the practitioner the accumulation of wisdom awareness. Like one's mother for an only child. Simple to understand, but universally applied. And so you arise from this practice, whatever yidam practice your teachers are giving you, Medicine Buddha, Tara, Chenrezig, Manjushri, whatever, protector deity practices, Malakala, Kala Chakra, whatever. But all of them originated in the universal mind of Kunto Zangpo and Kunto Zangmo, Vajradhara and Vajradharani, Dorje Chang, Dorje Khandro. These are symbols of your highest innate nature. You are already a Buddha. Gate, gate, para, gate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Before we do the dedication prayers, the simplest Tonglen practice, taking and sending with the breath. Of whatever you see going on in the world today. Firsthand, on your cell phone, on your computer, in the news, newspaper, word of mouth, whatever you see, hear. Very useful. The more negative, the better. the climate crisis, pandemic, war, famine and drought, disease, environmental destruction, the spread of toxins, every kind of weird slave trading, weapons trading, drug trading, whatever the worse the better. Individually, friends, relatives, lovers, pets, even enemies. 1,000 times more suffering than you have, guaranteed. Black light in, take it all away. Into your heart chakra, disappear it. Immediately the white light of loving kindness to the individual or to the social situation clears it, heals it. So now think of a friend, relative, lover, pet, adversary, enemy, one individual that is making terrible choices. Inhale black light into your heart center, disappear, remove all that negative. Immediately, white light of concern and compassion, loving kindness. Visualize it to that object. And when you see all these calamities and crises and horrible suffering going on, graphically, whole areas on fire or underwater or blown away. The permafrost disappearing. And other take it in. Black light into your heart center. White light back. Think. It's all back to natural. Clear. Healthy. After a while, it'll just, with each breath, it'll flow in and exhale back out naturally. In your worldly and daily activities, and even in your dreams at night. This is one of the highest levels of Bodhisattva training about voidness. The realities as illusion, but useful for practice. This dedication prayer was given to me by Kala Rinpoche. It says, by practice in these ways, and by the power of these virtuous actions, and the love and kindness of my gurus and parents to me, and all the teachings of Bodhicitta by my lamas, and my commitment to all my Vajra sisters and brothers, and especially the connection between myself and all men and women, possessions and even those of beasts of burden from which I take milk and yogurt to drink, and animals whose flesh and blood I eat. To all of these, without leaving one behind, may they quickly reach the sublime and perfect state of highest intelligence in the human condition as Buddha. Then the 8 thoughts of a great Bodhisattva, my teacher called Rinpoche, go like this. By the power of the truth of the great compassion of the excellent objects of refuge, and by the power of this merit and pure altruism, may I completely remove every misery of all living beings who fill the sky. By the perfect virtues of this world and of nirvana, may the hopes and desires of all beings be filled according to their appropriate wishes. May my own body, flesh, blood, skin, and so forth appropriately benefit all beings. May the miseries of all my old mothers, all living beings, come upon me. May all my happiness and virtue be realized by them. For as long as I remain in this world, may there never arise, even for an instant, the thought of harming others or my environment. For the sake of living beings, I energetically exert myself, not slacking for even an instant, through discouragement, weariness, or other causes. May I gain the ability to effortlessly bestow whatever is desired by beings who are poor, hungry, or thirsty. May I take upon myself the great burden of beings who suffer the unbearable torments of hell and other miserable realms. May all these beings attain liberation right now, today, in this place. KYD, near to dog, Jabia, Jumbo, Jubirne, Towa, Shinkin, Malum, Te, Sala, Gopar, Show. Sanjay goes on them by Jamadam, Choni, Maver, them by Jamadam. Kendu, Miche, them by Jamaki, Jita, Goma, Jupar, Show. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may quickly establish all beings without a single exception in that state. By the blessings of the 3 bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of the Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha, that's us, being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all the Lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, establish in bliss through our practice, and become emotionally stable in a non-judgmental mind of liberation. Thank you. Mahalo. No gracias. Aloha. And Tashi Dele.
Thank you. Thank you, Lama Tashi.